Hey there, I'm JB and welcome to Dutchland. In today's episode we are going to work on a very big project and I would like to have it finished off as much as possible. And that will be the big ginormous harbor that we are going to create right down here. But before we're going to get into all of that exciting stuff, there are two other things that I would like to talk and show you about. First of all, I have figured out a bug that I actually have solved, and second, I would actually like to show you what I've been doing off camera. And I got a new signature building, which is a fuel plant. Now this is actually very nice because we could actually place this into the harbor area, so I'm very happy with that. Now first of all, the bug, right? I had a problem now and then with a load of cars that were stuck into this area, ginormous traffic problem, and there was always somehow, some way, one car here being stuck. Another thing you might notice is that the snowplow that was on the roof is now gone. And the snowplow and the cars that were being stuck all had a connection with each other. This is something that I actually discovered very much later on when I was working in this area right down here, because I had a service vehicle down here. I had like a road going this way and I noticed some cars were getting stuck here too, as well as on the highway later on. But I figured out what I had to do in order to remove the vehicle, and once I did, I discovered the vehicle start to move on, and then it was like, yes, of course. So first of all, the tool that I use in order to remove it, I just went into this and I selected all kinds of other options, and then I noticed this down here. This here describes single. Utilize the vanilla Bulldozer tool to remove most single vehicles, sims or animals. If this cannot remove a vehicle, sim or animal, I have to use the radius selection, which this is called a radius selection. This will remove all vehicles, sims or animals within the radius and those in a vertical column. And the vertical column is something that I needed because the snowplow was stuck on a roof in the sky. So once I click on this guy, I could actually remove the service vehicle and then vehicles start moving again. The reason why is because even though you plop the service vehicle down as a prop, in the background of the game, the vehicle at some point will start focusing on maintaining the road. And that's why these vehicles got stuck, because the vehicle didn't move afterwards like these guys are doing. Right, that was a lot of talking, so I'm gonna keep it short on the off-camera work. I just want to show you that I decided to move the crematorium up into this area right down here, along with this guy, a parking lot. I think it's actually nice to give it its own spot right down here with a lot of nature surrounding it. Yes, the highway, yes, this building, but you need to do something, right? Because I found it more logic to place an elementary school down here, which I placed in such a way I removed the big parking lot so I can have these guys in here, because as you can see, it is already getting filled up. The reason why I did that all of a sudden is because I've been doing some stuff down here underneath the bridge. This was just a spot with an old factory going on. The factory was abandoned. You know, they bought the place, they built some houses and stuff. And then I kind of noticed homeless people. Now I did try to figure out, like, how can I see how many homeless people do I got? Because when I click on the overall population, I don't see any homeless. And I would swear there might be an option somewhere which it should show homeless. Well, I cannot find it, and I did ask it in the City Skylines Discord, but I didn't have any answer on that. So if one of you guys know. Now besides that, the only other off-camera thing that I did was this area right down here. So I just placed a road that goes along here, place some dummy stuff, or prop, better to call them. And these props, we had like an update. If I would click on this guy, you can see we now have some extra tabs with basically all of the stuff that I could also get with the Find It mod. The only nicest thing about this is that it's more categorized in smaller parts, because I could find these two, but I never found any of these guys. So it is very good that they still did this, so it could give me some extra props. And also in here, what I like is that they also added these buildings, which are non-stickable to the road buildings, to call them, which is also very nice. Another, yeah. Okay, the other nice thing that I really like is that you can now use your scroll in order to get through these menus, because before you had to click on each individual little block. So yeah, another terrain here. These two buildings are actually attached to this road instead of that road, which I actually do not mind, because I remember a place from GTA 4 where there was like a street on, maybe it was called Bohan neighborhood or whatever, and you actually look at the backside of the walls, which is also a very realistic thing. And then down here they slowly but surely start to, you know, add in little houses, residential shoppings underneath, and I thought, you know, let's add in basketball field. Let's add like a custom made type of deal down here. I don't know what it is, just a playground with some benches and stuff. Small little parking lots for scooters, I thought, but apparently little cars can park here too. So yes, the two big things that I would like to do is I would like to have a, I'm not sure what to call it, a loading and unloading dock for trains, where the containers on the trains come around the corner here, get loaded and unloaded from the trains, and then the containers go into storage here or there, and, you know, if need, immediately get sent with these cranes onto ships. Now, of course, this area will have multiple entrances. So one entrance will be from this side. There are a couple of office buildings in here, which are in this case not really in use, I believe, because we don't have any demand for it. So you can still see your advertisement here. So there is no company in that just yet, which is okay, which is fine. Down here, we got a off-ramp in a corner. I really like this because this creates like a cozy little area, which I have a gas station, residential with shopping, just shopping, another residential with shopping, a park, and a kiosk with a parking lot. Just a cozy little area. Yes, of course, you can also drive in via here, but this is something that I cannot avoid. And then when I placed this park down here, I was like, do we even have park maintenance? And I noticed that all the parks down here had zero maintenance, so I actually placed a maintenance building right down here. So that's also going to be a part of this whole industrial area. But enough about that. Let's click on this guy, let's click on that guy, and find the train. But this one? No, that's not that one. Let's just go here. I like how it wobbles. I'm looking for this guy. Yeah, perfect. So this guy is a you can make like a rail coming in. The train stop here. This train is going to get the containers on and off, and then in here there's going to be trucks backing off into it, and the containers get loaded onto the trucks or the service vehicles. And I thought this place here would be perfect. Okay, that will work. Yeah, another problem that I'm seeing right down here is that it's a bit into the ground. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the selection tool here. I'm going to select both of these, and then I'm going to go to, I think, terrain height. Yeah, there we go. So now it is above the ground, which is perfect. Now the next thing that I'm going to figure out, because the train track normally, or it can show like the icons, right? I had this problem earlier, but I did figure out that there should be train track that should not be showing any icon, which this is one of them. This one does show the icon. This one, I'm going to have a queue track which shows an icon, and then we have the station one. This one doesn't show an icon. So this one is going to be perfect for what I would like to do here. I think this would be perfect, and then, you know, let's just continue until here, and then we're going to need to take care that this track here will be connected to that track. Gotta do that by using this one. Let's say, how about 50 meters? 70, 75, and 75 on this one. You know, I think that is legit. You know what, let's just wait with connecting this up, because it's now all going to depend on the harbor. That's going to be a difficult thing. Connect all the stuff up and have the train track go around. It's going to be another challenge, since we need to have quite a big corner though. So this thing, this thing, there we go. So you can already tell that I cannot place it here. That is not because it says no car access or road required. Well, it does says it so, but what the game basically means, no boat access and no road access. Because if I go right down here, you can see that I'm too close up, and once I move to a further area, you can see that it only says road required. And you can trust me on that, because I have tried to mess around with this off camera just to see, you know, how things work. Because if I would do this and then connect this up, as you can see, it plops to the road. So there is a road connection, and it still complains that there is a road required, and it basically means the road for the boats. Because if I do this, you can see it plops it, right? This is gonna be, I think, a little bit troublesome. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you look at the train connection, or the part with the train that we just made, you cannot really corner it up very nicely, right? So I'm going to think how we can actually implement this. Now, another thing that I could be doing, which is going to require a little bit of terraforming for the river, which is a little cheaty if you would, because I actually don't want to move the river up. That's very unrealistic. Is trying to implement a harbor somewhere around here ish, right? So as you can see at the corner, close to the river, then I'm going to need to move the river up. This does mean that the cornering for the train track would be possible, right? Okay, I have to stop myself here because I just keep on going and going. I got this harbor fit in just perfectly. I did for some reason had to lower the ground, so anything else will be done later on. For now it's not important. The same thing goes with the river. Make it more perfect later on. Get down here. This road ends like that. That's just because I have to, and then it goes in here like a maintenance road, or for patrolling to keep the area secure. And then down here we have a one-way going toward this entrance or exit. It's always the question what it is. Down here entrance and exit, down here entrance and exit. Now once truckers have done a job and they're going to need to have a long travel back or something, they can go in here. I want to change this into a truck stop, just a parking lot where they just, you know, spend the night or whatever in their cabin. Which it will also be a good idea to maybe make like a little commercial building here or something where they can, you know, get some food, drinks, rest, that good stuff, take a shower. But, oh boy, we are going to need to connect this road, that road, highways, this road, all together down here, and have the train track cross. Holy freaking moly, this was one of the difficult things I have done in a long while. I had to change and get angry and change and get angry, and then, you know, all of a sudden I'm just gonna accept how things are. I especially messed around with this area down here a lot. The train track was a little less difficult. I just, you know, did what my feeling was saying that it feels good. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, anyways, I've chosen to, well, still make the track go over the road down here rather than onto it or even below it, because I feel like when you put this track up into the sky, you can make better use of the space underneath it or go underneath when needed. And also for right down here, just a nice long corner before things go down onto the train track again. Now down here I'm not worried about it because, you know, end stations are a thing, so this is where the end station ends, and then we can use this space for other stuff. And if I'm going to build something down here, I am going to try and see if I somehow, some way can fix a road from this area down here rather than connect something up from this busy area down here, because it's going to be very busy in this area. So the reason why I've done it the way how I've done it is because I got a feeling most folks will come from the highway. So I want the highway to be prioritized to say to go directly into the lane that goes directly into here, right? Rather than connecting this up here, because that means most traffic will get interrupted by the least traffic. So now the least traffic goes out here and have to wait for the turn. Something like that. In theory, that is how it works in my head. But we're gonna see how this is going to work. Now, to not make matters too long, I'm just going to figure out how to connect this up. I think this would be perfect. And let's just connect this up straight like it is a road, right? Perfect. And then in here, I'm going to need to corner it up just a little bit. Trying to fix it like that, and then slightly corner it like that. And you know what? Perfect. Yes, of course, before I forget, we're going to need to set up a line real quick. So let's just start off with this one, and we have a outside connection right over there, and it seems that doesn't really make any sense. Well, okay, I have an idea. I want the ship to go, I mean here, it's gonna go that way. I want it to go here first and then, you know, move on, and from there, go there. Right, that's perfect. Let's do the same for the other side. Let's do one down here. Connect it up there. Then it probably goes around. You see what I want to do, right? I want it to go here, then go in here, but that's... Can it? Why the weird little corner thing in there? Yeah. No, not there. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So, yeah, now we have like a nice roundabout. That's what I want. I've done a lot of greenery and I've been laying down a lot of withered concrete or asphalt, one of them. Let me just quickly show you up close. Okay, the bushes there were already there. I got a little bit of bushes down there, as well as down here and down here. Basically, I want to add in some greenery to just break up all of the grayish colors. And maybe I'll add some little patches and overgrown stuff here and there. Now, a lot of concrete. And yeah, it's only a shame that this stuff is like very repetitive. You can clearly tell that by yourself. And the edge down here, I just remove this because that was not supposed to be there. Yeah, for the train, right? I created like a patch in here. I did cross the road with this concrete stuff because it's gonna be very messing around to get it around the roundabout. But this is okay. More of this stuff down here. So the edge, filled it up with bushes because I also wanted to look from the street view. I want to cover things up a little bit because there will be housing. I really want to break up all of the gray stuff as much as possible here and there. So a lot of bushes. We did add a fence, bushes and trees along this whole edge all the way up to the other side. I think it's actually nice to have all of the greenery breaking the gray, and later on will be a lot of colors in here too. More about that in a second. Now down here I thought, you know, let's just add in 3 buildings. This is an office, which later on, these are 2 industrial buildings, some parking lots, which got, I hope at some point, a couple of vehicles will drive around in this area just because of that, right? That would be nice. So a lot of fencing also on the inside because I wanted to protect the train track a little bit. Yes, from distance you can tell maybe there are some color differences. I cannot be bothered with that. However, I can be bothered with this though. I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm going to change this fence up for barbed wire. More stuff around here. A couple of bushes and then end it up here, right? We have one entrance on this side of the whole show. We have one entrance on this side. and one entrance here. So that should very close up the area. Now for down here, I am not sure just yet what I exactly want to do, because like I've been saying before, if I'm gonna make a road in here, then the road probably needs to go from another side. As you can see, I've done a lot, but I'm also have to tell you guys that I simply run out of time, and I need to do still a lot to this harbor in order to fill in the blank, right? I just want to say this part down here will make sense what I'm going to do with it. You will see it at the start of the next episode. Now, any other than that, I've placed a million containers down the line. Now, I could go very deep into detail and stuff, but I feel like it's a little bit overkill, since, you know, I'm going to need to build a ginormous city out of this game, and messing around with tiny square inches and feet, I don't really feel like doing, besides placing some little things in, right? I could just copy and paste, just fill in the blank a little bit, but it's a massive project this. Now, there is one thing that I absolutely do not like, and it frustrates me, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, you know, you can hear it on my voice, and that is just trains. Now, if you do this, watch magic. Boop. It moves backwards. Now the thing is, it's not moving because it's adjusting itself on the track, because if I place it near the track, it doesn't matter, it just moves backwards. So the thing here is, you can also not pick it up. If I fill in the blank, you cannot pick it up. If I use this, you cannot pick it up. It's very frustrating. I hope this for the future will change, but for right now I could do something, but I have to work 100% precisely, and I might end up only making 2 trains, because making 4 trains, I'm gonna explode out of anger. I'm gonna try, just to take it easy moment. So right down here, some more containers, more stuff, toilets, and, you know, trying to add in some stuff here and there. Yes, I also use the copy and paste tool, which I got here. Just select a couple and just move it along. And down here, I got this satellite, right? I mean, radio mast, very good, because internet connection is also an important thing. This is something I should not forget. Services building, and that's why there will be something coming in this area that makes a lot of sense. What about that in the next episode? More containers, more stuff, more things. Basically down here, I also wanted to add in other random stuff, like containers and a lot of mess, and more toilets and more random stuff, trailers. Some buildings, you know, factories, because I want cars to be driving here like that. I want the area to come a little bit more alive. Ginormous parking lot, because, you know, there is a lot of people working in these areas, and this is another area I'm not done just yet. I don't know, I need to come up with stuff in order to place down. It will be fine in the end. I might just make some more containers here. I'm going to place some more lights and barriers, and there is so much to do, but I don't want to overdo it, because, you know, I got a massive series to make and a lot of stuff to do, and I don't want to spend 2 weeks time onto harbor, which most of the time we're looking at this angle, right? I mean, you see the light mast and concrete barrier, but do you really see these little orange things? Meh, at some point we don't even spend attention to detail anymore on that. So you can imagine, I will do some more stuff, but I'm not gonna go insane. But honest, in overall, I'm starting to get happy. I really start to get happy. I'm just going to need to see what exactly we're going to do here. If you got some ideas that you would like to share, then always let me know. And then, yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Alright, I can imagine the money. Yep, it went all the way with 10k a month. And the population is balanced out, so I'm not gonna need to rush in order to fulfill all of this stuff. I'm going to enjoy. And I can actually not wait